Hello guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to Goals Galore. Welcome to my Match Week 21 predictions this time for the Championship. As always, if you guys want to enjoy, let me know your thoughts on all 12 games in the comment section down below. Be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe. Help us get to our Christmas Day goal. Right then, we've got 12 games to predict of another week of the Championship. Let's go. We begin the Friday night with Derby hosting Portsmouth. Of course, these two sides both come up together last time from League One last season. And the last game at Pride Park last season between these two sides ended in a 1-1 draw. Last time out for Derby, of course, it was a great 0-0 draw away to Burnley. Not many sides are going to go there this season and get a point. And a clean sheet as well is, yeah, fair play Derby. Very tough side to break down in that one. As for Portsmouth, I think they've gone 3 unbeaten now. I can't remember the results before the international break, but certainly after the international break, when they've played, that is, a draw to Swansea, the win against Bristol City, and now, of course, the draw to Norwich. So, actually, building a good platform. They're out the relegation zone at the moment, if my memory serves me right. And honestly, they're looking really good. The spirit in that side is really good as well. You've got some great leaders in there, such as Richie, of course. I think they're going to be okay for the time being. This festive period is a time where every side can go on a little run and pick up so many points and just get themselves away from wherever they are on the table or further up. In this game, though, I think it'll be a really close game. Derby 1, Portsmouth 1 as a full-time prediction in this one. Same as last season. Bristol City host QPR now for Bristol City. Of course, it was heartbreak last time away at Stadium of Light. A 1-1 draw with Sunderland in the dying stages, of course, conceding that equaliser. And it's a goal that they should really be cutting out. Before that, it was poor away to Portsmouth. Back home here, though, where they have been a lot better at home so far this season. However, the opponents, QPR, come into this one with a little bit of momentum. I think they've won 3 on the bounce. They beat Oxford. They got a solid draw with Watford somewhere in there. And they beat Cardiff recently as well. There's another one in there. I think another win against Norwich, of course. So I think the last 3 wins were all in a row. So they go into this one with a bit of confidence, QPR. And they are better away from home than they are at home anyway. So in this one, I think it'll be a very equal game. I would go for Bristol City, but some reason I thought QPR and QPR to win 2-1 here at Ashton Gate. This will be a very fascinating game. I think a lot of people will have their split opinions on this one. Next up, we go to Coventry hosting Hull, and both of these sides, of course, failed to get a positive result midweek in terms of all 3 points. Hull were able to get 1 point midweek, which I guess is a positive when you're at the bottom of the table. Under Ruben Sellers in his first game, of course, they went 1-0 up in that one at home, and in the end, they conceded late on against Watford to settle for the point. In this one against Coventry, who I feel like should have got something out of that game against West Brom midweek, they just couldn't take their chances, and West Brom got a few, got let off the hook a few times. In this one, I think it'll be a very even game. Hull fighting for their lives. They've actually got a good record against Coventry. I think it ends Coventry 1, Hull 1. Moving on, we go to Preston hosting Leeds. Now, Leeds, last time they went up to Lancashire, they lost to Blackburn. Now it's time for Preston to try and do the same. In this one, though, Leeds, of course, off the back of another win midweek. Just winning all the time at the moment. As for Preston, they got their first, I believe it's their first away win of the season away at Cardiff. So, great win there. In this one, I think it'll end Preston 0, Leeds 2. Blackburn made it 5 wins in a row midweek after beating Sheffield Wednesday. In this game, they host Luton, who also got a win midweek, which is a rare sight for Luton, but they are starting to build up the points. Fair play to them and fair play to Rob Edwards. It's not been an easy start to the season at all. In this one, of course, I think it'll be close, but it's hard to look past Blackburn at the moment. John Eustace is doing a great job. The team spirit is incredible, and it looks a transformed squad from what happened last season. I think Blackburn get the win here at home once again. They've been solid there this season. Blackburn 2, Luton 1. Middlesbrough host Millwall here. Millwall, of course, after this game will be losing head coach Neil Harris, of course, after I don't really know what's going on there, why he's leaving. I think I saw a record that since he took charge of Millwall, if the season was to start from that point, they'd actually be in the automatic promotion places, which is incredible. He did the job he was intended to do at the back end of last season, keeping them up, of course. In this game, to say farewell away at Middlesbrough is no easy task. They can score goals for fun. but they have been a bit leaky recently in terms of conceding a few. In this one, I have gone for the Borough win, 3-1 at home, to say goodbye to Neil Harris. Next up, then we go to Oxford hosting Sheffield Wednesday. And to be fair, in this one, in the head-to-head, Oxford actually have a pretty good record against Wednesday. In this one, both sides lost midweek. Someone has to bounce back. I think it's going to be the hosts, Oxford, better home form this season, which is what they're going to rely on, much like Plymouth last season. Sheffield Wednesday, a strong side, but I think Oxford will get the win here, 2-1 at home. Now time for Sheffield United hosting Plymouth. Now Plymouth midweek, of course, made it a bit uneasy for the Swans in the dying embers of that game. Don't know how they only scored 1 goal, if I'm being honest, and I don't really know how they only conceded 2 at the same time. But at home park, they're completely different to being away, and they're away here to one of the best sides in the league, Sheffield United, who are just incredible at the moment, and I think this one could get really messy for Wayne Rooney and Plymouth if they concede loads of goals away. And I don't think I've ever gone for this higher scoreline for a championship match, but now I have. Sheffield United 6, Plymouth 0. Watch that one only be a 1-0 now, or 0-0. Moving on, we go to Stoke hosting Cardiff. Now both of these sides, of course, starting to slip down the table a little bit. For Stoke, the performances haven't been that great, but the results sort of do start coming, of course. Midweek it was defeat to Luton. In this one they host Cardiff, who have been doing even worse than them somehow at the moment, and in the bottom 3, stop the count. In this one, Stoke to win 2-0 at home. Moving on, we go to Swansea hosting Sunderland. We will be attending this game, and there will be a matchday vlog up on the channel after this game, so be sure to check it out, Swans and Sunderland fans. In this one, I think it'll be a game where, every game this season, we've gone head-to-head with some top opposition, and we've made it really tough for them. We've gone toe-to-toe with even the best, and there's only been one game this season where we've actually come out of it with more than a 1 goal margin either way. So that was the Preston game at home where we won 3-0. In this one then, it will be 1 goal between the two sides if there is anything to separate them. We have got a decent record against Sunderland. However, they're an incredible side. We haven't beaten any other sides up there so far this season. But I think that changes on Saturday, I'm feeling quietly optimistic about this one. Swansea 2, Sunderland 1. I do think both sides will score. But Swans to get the win in this one, 2-1. Moving on, Watford host West Brom. Watford, who are still undefeated at home so far this season somehow. It's match week 21. Last time out a draw away at Hull, and it will be that away form that lets them down at the end of the season if they do end up missing out on the playoffs. In this one, they host West Brom, who just beat Coventry. In this one, it's a tough game. I can't see Watford losing, but I can't see West Brom losing. I'm going to go down the middle, 1-1 draw in this one. And if I'm going to predict, is Norwich hosting Burnley. Now, two sides that got a 0-0 draw midweek. I don't really know which way this one's going to go. Two sides that are quite hard to read recently. Burnley being the more consistent, which is why they're higher up the table. In this one, I think you've got to back the Clarets, Burnley to win this one. I've got Norwich 1, Burnley 3 on the Sunday. Well then guys, they're my predictions for match week 21 of the Championship. If you did go on to enjoy, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Plenty of action and content coming your way over the next few weeks. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in next and very soon guys. Take care. Goodbye.